First of all, I would like to say Mazal Tov to the Tzaddik Rabbi Moshe
Ben David.
May HaKadosh Baruch Hu give this house only bracha v'atzlacha. only שמחות, and בסייעתא דשמיא, ושהקדוש ברוך הוא ימלא את זה. כל מי שלא קיבלנו טובה, אמן כן יהיה רצון. As well, to all the people that are here at Hashem, to only gather together בשמחות, בישועות, בסייעתא דשמיא, and to only let Hashem to see each other in good occasion, amen כן יהיה רצון. First of all, ברשות אחי רבי יוסף, בעזרת השם. רבותיי, tonight is a חנוכת בית. Before we get into the Divrei Torah, that amazingly this parasha in Parashat Mishpatim speaks about the concept of what we are doing here tonight. Rabutai, what is a Chanukat Bayit? Chanukat Bayit is more than just gathering together and doing lechaim, telling the Baal HaBayit Mazal Tov, congratulating the new owner of the house on his new house that he moved in. What is the reason, Rabutai, behind Chanukat Bayit? And the reason, Rabutai, is something very, very beautiful. We know, Rabutai, that when a person sits down in a place, the energy that that person has influences the place that is where he stands. So we call it in Hebrew ashpa'ah. That essentially, that when I am sitting down in one place, I give influence to the place. The same way that I give influence, I also take influence. If this place had someone before me that had a lot of bracha and atzlacha, and was a person that was a lot of Torah, and was a person that had Yeshua, then me that coming out to this place that he left his influence, I can come and pick up that influence that he left. So if a person that sits down and learns Torah in one place, he blesses that place, and the next person that will come will benefit from that, from the blessing, from the kedusha that he brought down to that place. But Rabotai, it also works vice versa. That a bad person that is standing in a place, that is sitting in a place, and this person has no mazal, or this person chas v'shalom has things that we don't want, or a different mazal. We don't want to mix mazalot, we don't want to mix influences of different families. So what do? Because we don't know who lived here before, and we don't know what happened here before, or maybe it was a change of mazal that we want to bring in our mazal. What do? We do Chanukat Bayit, and we read the Zohar HaKadosh. And by reading the Zohar HaKadosh, we bring down the kedusha. By reading the Zohar HaKadosh, we bring down extra holiness, we bring down bracha, and we put in place a new influence. A new influence of bracha, a new influence of kedusha, a new influence of besayta deshmaya, a new influence of the Zohar HaKadosh, which brings protection. And by doing that, the Baal HaBayit and his family could live many, many years to come full of bracha and tzlachah. That, Rabotai, is the reason behind Chanukat HaBayit. Now, Rabotai, before that Hashem we continue, I want to say a few words that have to do really with this parasha. The Zohar in this parasha, in page Tzadik Daled Amud Aleph, says in a beautiful story that I'm going to try that Hashem to share it as fast as possible, that Hashem to not do Toach Tzibur. The Zohar HaKadosh says that one time Rabbi Yossi was traveling on the road. And while he was traveling on the road, he by chance bumped in to his friend, the tzaddik Rabbi Chia. When he saw Rabbi Chia, Rabbi Yossi was very happy that he saw a friend that he can learn Torah from him, that he could continue his journey, not just sitting down on his horse, but learning Torah, receiving something from this journey. So Rabbi Yossi looked at Rabbi Chia and he told Rabbi Chia, I'm so happy that I saw you, I'm so happy that I met you, that because I met you, because I saw you, I can finally learn Torah. And not only that now I can learn Torah, but I'm also happy to be far away from the person that I was traveling with before you. So Rabbi Chia looked at Rabbi Yossi and he told Rabbi Yossi, who are you traveling with that made you so aggravated that when you saw me you got so excited? So Rabbi Yossi looked at Rabbi Chia and Rabbi Yossi told him, he said, I was traveling with this old businessman, but this businessman was very weird. He was very annoying, very, very weird. He was asking very, very questions that are not very realistic questions. And the Zohar brings a couple of examples. This older man asked him questions. Who is the snake that flies, that has ants that lives between his teeth? Very, very interesting and weird questions. Maybe there is sodot behind them, but very, very interesting questions. And Rabbi Yossi was so happy to finally be far away from this person that is bothering him the entire trip with these questions. When Rabbi Chia heard this, Rabbi Chia said, you don't know who this person could be. The fact that he asked these interesting questions, it could be that this person is something big, a big soul, a big neshama, that you don't know. Sometimes the people that they seem to be empty are the people that you can find the most bags of gold, of treasure that are hidden within them. So Rabbi Chia told Rabbi Yossi, where is this person? Where did you leave this person? So Rabbi Yossi told me, he said, I left him in this place, tying his horses, taking care of his horses. So right away, Rabbi Chia and Rabbi Yossi turned around and they traveled towards that place where the old man was last seen. When they arrived to that place, they found who? The old man, the old Socher. When they met the old Socher, when they started to sit down and speak with this old person, Rabbi Chia started to ask him about his life. So this person that was seen by Rabbi Yossi is a little bit interesting. Turns out that this man looked at Rabbi Chia and told Rabbi Chia, that, all my life I was a big mukubal, all my life I was learning Torah, all my life I was learning with the Torah Tasod, but I had a kid, Baruch Hashem, and I want my kid to continue in the same path that I went. So in order to do so, I had to become a businessman, a traveler, to make money in order to support my son that's learning in the yeshiva. So I am not, the way you see me now, that I'm traveling, that I'm not necessarily in my clothes, I'm not necessarily with my books, that's not how you see me. So Rabbi Chia looked at this man, and he told him, he said, please, we're asking you, share with us a couple of words of Torah. And this man looked at Rabbi Chia, he said, how can I share a couple of words of Torah with two big tzaddikim, which were Kodesh Kodeshim, two big tzaddikim that they were like angels, Rabbi Chia and Rabbi Yossi? How can my words be even comparable to your words? So he said, it's going to be very hard for me to share some words of Torah, that you are here, and especially that you didn't share Torah with me yet. So because that we're sitting here together, and you didn't give me any secrets, you didn't tell me any secrets that exist, it's going to be hard for me, but you know what? I'm going to try, and it's never chas v'shalom, a bad thing. A person is never allowed to be embarrassed from teaching Torah. That is the words of the Zohar. The Zohar says that right away this old man went off his horse, he took a cloth, and as we mentioned in the Zohar many times, whenever the Chachamim, whenever the Tzaddikim sat down to sit, the first thing that they did is they took the cloth and itatfu. They wrapped themselves in the cloth to be 100% covered. They sat down on the ground, the old man sat down on the ground, he wrapped himself in the cloth, and he started to speak. When he started to speak, he looked at these two people, he closed his eyes, and he started to do special prayers and special divrei Torah. Rabbi Chia and Rabbi Yossi suddenly noticed that around them, they feel like the Shekhinah is coming down and surrounding all three of them and circling them was like a fire of Kedusha. When Rabbi Chia and Rabbi Yossi saw this, they understood, they said, this person is something big. We have to try to extract as many secrets as we can extract from him. And while this man was sitting with his eyes closed, he did something that we call in the Kabbalah, Aliyat Neshama. What is Aliyat Neshama? Aliyat Neshama is when a person is down here in this world, he's alive, he's here sitting like Rabbi Moshe, but he is able to take his Neshama, his soul, up, and to bring his Neshama to Metifta Derakia, to bring his Neshama to the world up there, and there, when his Neshama is up in the world, he can study all the secrets of the world that's up there, while he's still in this world alive. So right away, this man, he did Aliyat Neshama, and they really did Aliyat Neshama. So the body is here alive, but the Neshama is up there. And this man started to speak and started to talk. It is like his Neshama was talking to his body. And this old man got up and he started to announce, Saba, Saba. He was talking to himself. He said, Saba, Saba, all your life you worked hard to go to find these secrets. All your life you worked hard to go and achieve these secrets. And now you're about to release them all in 1 moment. Now you're about to tell all the secrets that all your life you chased in 1 minute. And he opened his mouth and he started to speak about learning Torah, about teaching Torah, and the reasoning that he's learning here Torah. He said, why am I not afraid to sit here with Rabbi Chia and Rabbi Yossi in this situation that we are, that we're surrounded by fire, we're surrounded by Shekhinah, and still continue to learn Torah and can still continue to teach Torah? This old man, while he was talking, continued. And he said the reason for that is because when a person learns Torah, when a person brings down the Kedusha, when a person sits down and he interacts, he plays with the Torah Kedusha, what happens at that moment? He said that at that moment, HaKadosh Baruch Hu comes down to the world and he brings with him all Knesset Israel. He brings him down with him all the big tzaddikim that passed away, all those neshamot, and HaKadosh Baruch Hu and all Knesset Israel sit around this person and they listen to the divrei Torah that is brought down to the world. They listen to to all the chidushim and all the secrets that is brought down to the world at that moment. While he was inside this place that he was in, he continued on. He taught us a couple of secrets that when HaKadosh Baruch Hu, when a person learns Torah, what happens is in that very moment, there is the tree, something that the Zohar explains, it's like a tree. It's not Etz HaChaim, it's made different than Etz HaChaim, the tree of life. But it's a tree that on both sides there is good and there is bad. Whenever a person learns Torah, that tree tilts to where? Tilts to the good side. When that tree tilts to the good side, and I will tell you this is a very deep thing that we have to try to understand, that the Zohar sometimes brings analogies for us to understand, like a tree. That when that tree tilts to the side of Kedusha, all the Malachim take that Limud Torah that is gathered at that time, and they create out of that Limud Torah, that teaching of Torah, crowns. And those crowns that are created from that Limud Torah, from that teaching of Torah, is placed on the heads of all Knesset Israel, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, and those who learned Torah. I will tell you from this Zohar, we learn the concept that when we learn Torah, when we teach Torah in a place, we bring down the Kudsha Berichu, we bring down the Kedusha, we bring down the Bisad Dishmaya to the place. When a person learns Torah and he sits down and he shares, especially with the Limud HaZohar, that the whole concept of Chanukat HaBayit is the Limud HaZohar. The whole concept that when a person moves into a new house is to study the Limud HaZohar. When a person learns and interacts with not just the deep learning of Torah and the deep sodot of the Torah, any Limud Torah, a person brings down the Shekhinah, brings down the Kudsha, brings down the Bisad Dishmaya, and in that place where he brings down that Kedusha, in that very place it's going to be bracha. In this house, that we mentioned a couple of things, and that's Zohar Botai. I did not show justice to that Zohar. That Zohar is one of the longest Zohars that I see simultaneously in one piece. It speaks about secrets, about Shlomo HaMelech, about David, about the Gilgulim, about the Neshamot. Maybe one day we're going to do an entire shiur just about that one Zohar, because it's to try to explain it in a couple of minutes is going to be very hard. But may Rabbi Bet Hashem, these few words of the Zohar Kadosh that we brought down here, Bet Hashem, bring the Baal HaBayit here. And may Bet Hashem, all the tzaddikim that are here with us today, Bet Hashem, receive a big bracha, a big yeshua, a big besad d'ishmaya. And may HaKadosh Baruch Hu show us all the redemption that we all need in our personal lives, as well as the redemption as all Klal Yisrael. Amen.